In this video, I'm going to show you how to display what a summary variable in CPQ is calculating to. Coming up. Hey everyone, my name is Adrian. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, I go through Salesforce and I try and do stuff that's a little out of the ordinary, something you don't necessarily see every day, cool things to do, stuff you aren't seeing on Trailhead. So that's how we roll on this channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. Comment, like, it's always appreciated. If you're one of my subscribers, hey, welcome back to the party. So the other day I was creating a price rule in Salesforce CPQ, and one of the components I had was a summary variable. And the price rule wasn't exactly working correctly. And I was starting to think, I wonder if there's something going on with the summary variable where it's maybe not calculating what I think it should be calculating. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but maybe there was something wrong with my quote. So I wanted to know exactly what the summary variable was calculating to. It's a good question because when you create a summary variable, it's almost like a black hole. You create it and then that's it. You don't actually know what's going on in the background. So I set out to figure out how I could figure out what it was doing in the background, and that's what this video is about. So let's get into it. So essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to create a field to capture the calculation that Salesforce is seeing of the summary variable. And we're actually going to create a price rule, and then we're going to create a summary variable, of course, to test with, and then we're actually going to create a price rule to essentially inject the value that the summary variable is calculating to. So let's get into this now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into setup, and we're going to create a field in the quote object. Let's go down to the quote, or just type it in here. Okay, and then once I'm in the quote object, I'm going to go to fields and relationships, and I'm going to click new, and we're going to add a number field. So number, next, and we're going to call it hardware count debug. So tab here to get the field name. And we're fairly good to go on that. Next. Visible to all profiles. Next. We're going to have it appear on all layouts. And then we're going to click save. Okay, so we've created our field. So after we've done that, we're going to now create a summary variable. So let's go to, I have the other tab open here. And we're going to, in Salesforce CPQ, you can get to it from the app launcher here, Salesforce CPQ. And we're going to go to summary variables, new summary variable, and we're going to call it hardware count. So in this example, we're going to be counting the number of quote line items where the product family is hardware. So we'll call it hardware count. We're going to do a count, and we're going to do it on the quote line because we're counting the number of hardware products in the quote line object. Okay, quantity, and we're going to say where the product family, it's already there in this out-of-the-box CPQ developer org, and it equals, and we're going to say hardware. Okay, so that's being created. So the next thing we're going to do is actually going to create a price rule. And the price rule is essentially what's going to inject what the summary variable is calculating into that field that we created on the quote. So let's go to price rules, new price rule, and we're going to call this capture hardware count. We're going to choose calculator for this, set it to active, leave this as on calculate, and just leave that as none, and click save. So there's going to be no price conditions we need to add here. We're just going to go straight to the price action. So the target object is going to be the quote, where we're injecting the calculated value from the summary variable. It's going to ask us what field we want to inject the value of what the summary variable is. And notice that the field we created, it's not there. Okay, this is the developer org. So we need to add it to this field here, target field. So let's do that now. So let's just go to another tab here, and we're going to go to Object Manager, and we're going to go back, and we're going to go back to the quote, And we're going to go back to fields and relationships. And I'm just going to search for, there's our field there. So I have to copy the field alias name. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to Object Manager. We need to place that same field alias name in the price action object. So I need to scroll down to the price action object, which is right here, fields and relationships, and we're going to go down to the target field. I'm going to come down to the pick list here, and I'm going to click new, and I'm just going to paste it in there like that, and then click save. Okay, so now we have that in there. I can go back, and I'm going to go back to my price action. I need to cancel out here because it needs to refresh probably. So I'm going to refresh the entire price rule. So I'm just going to click on my URL, click enter, refresh, and I'm going to go back to the price action. And again, my target object is the quote, and the field is, and there it is, hardware count debug. So I'm going to put that in there. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stick a formula in here. And that is going to be hardware count, which is the name of the summary variable. Okay. And I'm going to click save. Okay. So we've set up our price rule, and how this is going to work. When we set up a quote, it's going to count the number of products that belong to the hardware family. And as soon as we save the quote, it's going to inject the number value that the summary variable is calculating into that field so we can see it firsthand. So let's go create a quote now. So I'm going to go quotes, and I'm going to go new quote, and I'm just going to create just a shell quote here, click save. And I'm going to go to edit lines, standard price book, add products. So I'm looking for hardware products to add, so I'm going to choose these CPUs here. I will add 5 of them. I'm going to hit select. So I got that error, and that's how you guys know I'm keep it real. I'm the real deal. So what I did, or what I didn't do, is I forgot to add my summary variable in the price action. So I'm going to select my summary variable now, and I'm going to click save. So let's try this again. Let's go back to the quotes and back to my quote here, and I'm going to click edit lines, and we're going to add products again. I'm going to add the same 5 CPUs here. 5, select, and we're going to click save. Now it brings us back to the quote, and you can see here when we come down, look what it did. It has 5 listed in this field, and that got injected with our summary variable. So there we go. You can now see what Salesforce CPQ's summary variable is calculating to. That's another video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I put a lot of work and research into these videos to kind of bring you unique perspectives on Salesforce that's not everyday knowledge. So please subscribe, like, comment, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next.